GSL Super Tournament, Season 1.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the GSL Super Tournament. We just finished our first best of 5. Maru with a very dominant performance. We had, I believe it was some kind of technical issue in Game 4, but it was the beginning of the end, to say the least. And Sue just said, no, forget about it. It's good. I'm out.
You know, I appreciate players that do that. Sometimes you wait forever for the game to restart, and they leave like within 1 minute, and you're like,
Yeah.
But our next match, Classic vs. SOS, two of the absolute monsters of Protoss vs. Protoss. Definitely going to be a good one. The mind games are super real. SOS, with his Gestalten view of PvP, a hard one to take down, but Classic is a very decisive player, a very intelligent player, top tier micro, macro builds, everything. Yeah, I mean, it's anyone's guess who comes out on top here, but if you don't favor SOS in a PvP, are you being truthful with yourself?
If you go back and look at all my casts of SOS, I basically am always favoring him to win. I've just seen him pull off too much stuff. I've seen him put that Archon on that bridge too many times. Artos has just been too good.
Oh my God. Yes.
Although I think Classic could give him a run for his money. These guys have similar approaches overall to this matchup, but still slightly different.
Yeah.
There's a bit of eccentric play on both sides here, but I do feel like SOS is just the master of the mix-ups.
These are cool pictures, by the way. I really like them.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this sort of animated, almost like cell-shaded look.
Yeah. Looks good. Looks quite like the players, too.
So Classic, somebody who's been looking quite scary. He was originally, at a point in time, the best Protoss player in the world. Kind of faded into the background a little bit amongst the other great Protoss players. But he's going up against SOS. SOS is just... It always seems like SOS is just way ahead of his understanding compared to everybody else. And also, he understands how his opponent understands the game, which is why he's so scary.
Yeah, it's very true, but at the same time, Classic is pretty monstrous in PvP. He's been doing fantastically lately. We've seen him getting very deep into tournament after tournament after tournament. Hasn't quite gotten a championship recently, but he's also the player that people use to practice to play against SOS. In any matchup, if you're going to play SOS, Classic is a pretty good substitute to kind of prepare for him. So definitely something to keep in mind there. Yeah, I mean, this is just going to be a great match. I love both of their PvPs.
So, going into this, I think this will go to Game 5, by the way. I don't think it's necessarily going to be our longest series. I think there's going to be a lot of crazy stuff happening early on, so maybe shorter games, but these guys are very evenly matched.
Yeah, they really are. Like, I mean, there's always a chance that SOS 3-0s somebody, but I don't think Classic is the guy for that one.
Again, only 16 players here at the Super Tournament. We start out right away with best of 5s. And just, we're going to have a champion in 4 days.
I know.
So cool. I love doing this tournament specifically. I love casting all this stuff I cast, but this one's extra fun.
Well, both of them last year were two of the best things we did all year long.
And I feel like the games really stay fresh for me.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
don't forget
just
what happens
casted
on day one. On day
you do a
4.
GSL at so many days, sometimes things can get a little bit fuzzy to try to call right off the spot here. But this is a different beast here, the Super Tournament. All right, Game 1's ready.
GSL Super Tournament, Season 1, Round of 16, Match 2.
Okay, Classic bottom right, SOS upper left.
Classic.
I was opening that like we're in an ASL, where we can't zoom in.
So, I mean, PvP, you know, there's still a ton of builds you can use.
SOS.
It certainly has changed quite a bit with the removal of the mothership core and the addition of shield batteries. You have to wall in, for instance, early on, or Adepts will straight up kill you no matter what you do. On this map in particular, it's kind of interesting because you do have that back natural that you can take very, very easily. So you can kind of... There are some builds in PvP where you can kind of get a unit lead and get your third base out more quickly, and your opponent can be a little bit nervous about taking that third base. This map can definitely change things up in that way. Like, if you've gone more tech-heavy and your opponent's more unit-heavy, you still get a third with those two gases. And more unit-heavy means you have more Zealots a lot of the time, and the extra Archons that you're going to be able to get by taking that back third kind of shore that up. So, long story short, it's a very different map for how a PvP can play out as the game gets longer.
So we had 2 probes sent out here for Classic. One sent out early, looping around, and it appears he wants to proxy a pylon here. And he sent out like a red herring probe, which is going to go up to the upper left and try to make it look like, in fact, Classic just has 1 probe out on the map. Yeah. Oh, am I wrong? Okay, yeah, this one's going to go right up. So he's going to make a pylon in this little area. Oh, wait. I don't know what that mentioned. Okay, so he's all right.
Yeah, just barely getting over there. This definitely could be a proxy Void Ray.
I think for sure.
It certainly looks like that.
And look at where the core's placed.
Yeah.
That could be really annoying.
You're right about that.
Sometimes StarCraft games come down to just that one weird building placement that changes the whole dynamic of the game.
Twilight got started, so it looks like this could just be DT.
Yeah, I think you're right. He just wants to get a DT right away in here. Now, you know, it's funny because it's not that much to check this location back here, right? It's not going to kill you to just send 1 unit back there. I know that you're trying to be really tight and clean.
But, I think that's why he's sending up Stalkers immediately, or rather Adepts immediately, because he wants to keep pressure on so that his opponent can't check there. But if he does check there, oh boy, you're in trouble. And look at this. Oh god, SOS is getting hard countered right now, man. He is going for a 4-gate against DT. There's no more one-sided thing that you can really have.
These Adepts are still trying to get in here. This may be just a direct loss here for Classic. What?
Yeah, let's finish. No, SOS is dead. He is, like, I think, right? He's making a robo right now, so I think he's starting to suspect that something crazy. Oh, wait, no, that's actually Classic.
Yeah, that's Classic is doing that.
So, yeah, Classic should just straight win this. Like, all he needs to do is warp in a DT at home and a DT over there. The DT over there, because there's a sentry, you might be able to fudge it.
You don't think you want to make 2 DTs to attack him there, and then you make DTs later? I mean, he's got enough pylons over here.
Yeah, no, you're right. If he has the high ground there and he doesn't feel like he's just about to die, absolutely make 2 DTs on the other side. But like a DT will perfectly defend at home as well. Ooh, he sends up the Adepts first, which draws you from the ramp. Really great move there by SOS. Really trying to start to get his damage done.
SOS may realize in this moment, okay, I think I know what's happening. He's going to find out in a second, but... Uh-oh.
You're in trouble here. No detection set up at all for SOS. He's actually making a Twilight?
Oh my god.
Okay, well that should be it.
1 more pylon and this entire base is derelict, man.
Yep.
And so that's it. GG. Classic takes game 1.
Yep.
Very straightforward, a hard countering.
Yeah.
Classic's like...
Sneaky place to make that Dark Shrine.
Yeah.
Cool. What else can you say? You went for Dark Shrine against 4-8, so that's a free win.
Certainly a lot of salt there from SOS, I'd imagine, emotionally. That's kind of an annoying way to lose game 1 at a best of 5.
I tell you, the amount of games he wins that look just like that on the other side.
Very true, very true.
He's salty like that. That is pot, meat, kettle.
Well, I think it's when you're calling the kettle black, right? That's accusing someone of something. This is just him experiencing the pain he's given to so many other people. But, yeah, he's not going to be feeling great after that. That's definitely an annoying way to have a game go down. Now, does Classic do that any more in any of these games? I don't think so, but, you know, when you get 2 guys that are so into the mind games like Classic and SOS, similar to how Maru went for a proxy barracks game 4 after game 3, he already did it and it didn't work.
Yeah.
That's the least likely thing you would expect someone to do, but Maru did it. Maybe in this series we'll have something similar. I don't know.
All right, Catalyst. Could be absolutely anything at this point with these two players. It's always stunning the amount of Dark Trunks you see in games that SOS is in, whether they are against them or from him.
Very true. And our game's loaded up. Let's do this. Game 2.
GSL SuperTournament, Season 1, Round of 16, Match 2. Classic.
Bring those mind games against SOS right off the bat. This hidden probe.
Jin Air Green Wings, SOS.
I wonder if SOS thought that that was going to be like a Stargate opening or something. I'm not really sure. You know, the one thing you can check with your probe when you get in there is how much gas has been mined.
Yeah.
And how many probes are on the geyser? Like, do you go 16 on minerals before going to your gas? That oftentimes can point more towards a faster expansion. You know, it's just there's little tiny balancing things. And when he got there, there were only 14 on probes, on minerals, and 3 on each gas. So, you know, maybe he could have thought that something was, you know, it was some sort of tech build. But that aside, we'll see where SOS goes from here. Both of them sending out their scout about the same time.
Yeah, the builds are basically mirror images of each other.
Beards?
Yeah, I don't.
What are you thinking about?
I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm like slightly jet lagged, so like words are not flowing out of me as they should.
Yeah. Well, that's funny though, especially because it's like beards. Because like
I
you
have a beard,
and everyone knows that you're
nothing,
self-obsessed about. Your
Nothing's
beard.
quite like my beards. They don't mirror anything. So it looks like it's going to be SOS
stupid.
with the proxy. Yeah.
Your beards don't mirror anything.
That's right.
Your beards never get a mirror match, if I tell you.
There's no way, man. There's no mirror match in this one. It's the 4th race. That's what they're calling my beard. So, not surprisingly, we have another proxy gate. This time, the circumstances are different, and it appears that the intentions of that proxy gate are different as well.
Yeah. You know, I think it's going to be a Stargate coming out of SOS, but there's actually already a Stargate from Classic in his main base.
So, if they're going for a Stargate in their main base and you've proxied a Stargate outside their base, it's less than ideal.
Yeah. Obviously, you can catch them because, like, let's say they both make an Oracle, yours is going to get there a lot quicker. And they're going to see that you have it, which gives them a lot of time to defend at home. But sometimes when you build the Stargate at home, it's more likely to go Phoenix if you're building the Stargate at home. If the Stargate in that position for SOS, 100% it's Oracle. It'd be closer if it's Void Ray. It would be at home if it was Phoenix. So it's an Oracle coming out of him. Just what will Classic make? See it? Yeah, it's a Phoenix. So this can end up being a hard counter, but whenever it's SOS or Hero involved,
don't call it. Don't call it too soon.
For them, Oracles beat Phoenixes quite often.
So, if you're both going Stargate, a lot of times you can both be forced into going Phoenixes, but if your small amount of ground units can get to their proxy Stargate, you can really turn the tides of the game in your favor. So you can see SOS being a little tricky with the Adepts that he does have shading, but since those Stalkers are out on the map, there shouldn't be that much to defend back here. And even though an Oracle can kill or can be killed by a Phoenix, it's still this Oracle still does a ton of damage.
Yeah, not perfect micro so far, but here we go. He's really on point. 5, 4. Okay, 4. I thought he was going to get 5th one there, but a little bit of miss micro there from Classic as well, trying to force up the ramp. Okay, so 4 probes. He's not dead or anything. Oh, that's a sick move. Oh, what a sicko. Oh, my God.
Wow, that actually might cost Classic the game. That's a lot to lose early on.
Yeah. 4 Stalkers for 1?
When you consider that this was a proxied Stargate, it would have been nice if you could push that location. Yeah. This is huge. It's going to be really tough for Classic to take a second base. What is the ideal number where it's okay to kill workers and still lose the Oracle? Is it 5?
With the first Oracle coming in, 4 was okay. The second one coming in and getting 3 doesn't feel nearly as good, I think. And especially considering he didn't really micro that one. It was kind of like on hold position or something. He could have gotten another 1 or 2. Oops.
So the push is coming.
Man, Classic, everything's going wrong.
Okay, so this should allow him to break this. It's only, oh, I'm sorry, it's 2 pylons over here, but I think only one's powering. Yeah, only one's powering those double gates. So there's so many avenues that SOS can take here.
Yeah. The one thing that's really good for Classic is that he doesn't have a Nexus yet. It looks like he's about to start one. But with 4 Phoenixes out, even though you're down 9 probes, that is a lot, and he has a lot of units. The Phoenixes are definitely still a very worthwhile unit. You can definitely get some damage done.
And that's enough Stalkers that can drive out those Phoenixes. Had they been able to go in there and pick up several probes, that would be a really big equalizer here for Classic.
They got right around 8-9 lips easily there. So, ooh.
Oh my God, he's so good.
He's so good. Jeez, and he's
not one A moving ever this game.
No.
This is a right-click, A-click, or game artosis, as they say.
Yeah, no F2 here.
So, Blink is about halfway done, and that's when SOS is going to become really deadly on the map.
Yeah, but the mind games from Classic, going for a Dark Shrine from here, he already knows that Blink is on the way, and it makes sense with the amount of Stalkers that we've seen out. What was that all about? Ooh, but the Robo starts. That doesn't mean DTs can't get in, that doesn't mean DTs can't still do something, but right now, Classic is definitely in dire straits. His Phoenixes, these things are going to have full energy, man. That's a painful place to be.
Okay, trying to get a few pickoffs here. Stalker eating a little bit of damage, but not that consequential, really. Again, we want to wait for Blink to get done. I do like the DT play here from Classic. I think this is a very smart, sharp direction to turn the game to hope that, you know, SOS playing more middle-of-the-road countery does well. But even losing that Phoenix is pretty problematic. The difference between 2 Phoenixes and 3 is quite huge. The Stargate is going to be taken out here. Although I think we're long past SOS's Stargate having a major impact in this game.
Yeah, I don't think he has any plans on even using it. I don't see anything left here for Classic.
I think the thing, though, for Classic is if he makes these DTs, it would seem only natural that SOS would eventually try to push south and take out this base, and that's when the DTs could come in there and take out everything. A lot of people don't generally make a ton of observers. However, this many Stalkers, you can warp in DTs and nobody cares.
Hey, oh. Well, he's actually got... He can bring in, if he can actually kill off this, a Zealot warps, and that's actually
perfect
a really
warp-in,
smart warp.
GG. Classic insta taps out, and SOS evens us out 1-1.
Hey, the mind games. Again, Phoenixes lose to Oracles. This is just only from SOS and Hero, guys.
It's staying as we predicted. Fast games, but evenly matched.
Yeah. You can definitely see they're using such heavily decisive build orders. It's funny because, like, you know, these types of builds, they work against other decisive builds, and they also can fail, of course, against those. If you get someone like Stats in here, you might need to play a little bit different. Stats might just expand. He'll have some units. He'll get an Observer.
I feel like Stats is weak to these 2 players, though.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of the funny thing about PvP and watching these different styles hit each other. You have no idea how this is going to go.
Don't forget, guys, this is a best of 5. In Super Tournament, we start out right with best of 5s. There is no group selection. So these guys are using up a lot of their PvP builds. This is the best PvP these guys have to offer. So many WCS points on the line. And everybody in Super Tournament is godlike, you know?
It's very, very true. We saw in that intro. It's like, what is it, 15 badasses with tournament wins, and then also Trust is in this tournament. Who's in very good shape right now, so
That's
excited
right.
to see that as well.
He's not bad. He's definitely not bad. Okay, our game's up. This is game number 3 on our best of 5 of Classic versus SOS.
GSL SuperTournament, Season 1, Round of 16, Match 2. Classic.
Not able to pull it together that game. Oracle's getting some pretty decent damage done there.
So whose turn is it to proxy? I'm not sure. I lost.
Generic.
This is the game where they
SOS.
both proxy each other, right?
It could be, actually.
And then we just need to figure out where the gold base is on whatever map we're on, and that one of them has to take that. They both take a gold base, and so many players down here to learn PvP, but can't quite learn because these games are too weird.
Well, this is kind of the funny thing, right? You take one of these sharp build orders where you have a hidden probe making a pylon and doing like the tightest DT rush.
Yeah.
You'll get some wins on the ladder with that, but you'll also get some losses where you're like, wait, why did they use this build? I had no chance that game.
Yeah. Well, it's one of these things where it's so advanced. For the layman nerd, it doesn't really help him that much.
Well, it's funny because at this level, like with the kind of the way PvP is, it's of course a very skilled matchup. But these two being two of the absolute top PvP players in the world, I think you have to put them at least both top 3. I mean, at this point, like, there are just kind of risks involved, and, like, there's a little bit of gamble going on.
Why do you call it gamble?
Gamble.
So funny.
A little bit of gamble. It's not a little bit of a gamble. It's a little bit of gamble. Okay, those are two very different things. I want to be perfectly clear with you here, Tasteless, okay? It's a bit of gamble. Okay? It's not a gamble. No, there is a gamble. Yeah, okay. It's a gamble, okay? That's regular commentator
If you want to know what Artosis calls it on his stream, it's called being a cheesing piece of shit. But if it's not that, then it's a gamble.
Bit of gamble going on.
Okay, so
there's important distinctions here. I assure you.
Yeah. Oh no, I get it. So it's 2 Stalkers versus 2 Adepts. From here, they're both going to be macroing out Stalkers. And it's a 3rd gateway here for Classic.
Okay.
And this can look pretty basic, but it can actually be quite strong.
Yeah, totally.
A lot of times it might not look as exciting when it's something as simple as, oh, he's just getting another gateway. This is a very straightforward way to try to tip the game into your favor.
Yeah, I mean, he opened with Stalker, right?
Did you see SOS slightly body block those Stalkers?
Oh, yeah. You got it. Like, the thing is, like, if 2 Stalkers shoot at an Adept, and then the Adept's shade, as long as the Stalker player micros correctly, they will kill the Adept before the shade finishes unless you body block. It's a very important micro move that every Protoss needs to learn.
Okay, so it's Classic's turn this time to put a proxy pylon out here.
Yeah, the 3 gate.
Yeah.
He's going to really walk up that ramp and try to kill him.
Dun.
Definitely an important scout, and the 2 Adepts coming home are super important as well, because if they don't, then he'll probably just straight up die to this.
Oh, never mind. They're both proxying each other. I was right. I was right the first time.
Oh, of course. But a Nexus is coming up for SOS. Now, his shield batteries are going to finish, and I think he's going to hold just because of that, straight up. Look at that, 3 shield batteries.
He might try to put the pressure on. Now, the Robo's not proxied here, which means he can't push with Immortals and get some kind of tempo swing.
Ooh,
oh, no.
Great micro.
You can see who's rooting for who here. I'm like, oh, no, and you're like, great micro.
I root for the defender, Tasteless.
This is true.
He is trying to defend.
If you were a Game of Thrones clan, your sigil would be a turtle with its head inside of its shell.
Oh, for sure it would be. We stay in our base.
we stay in our base.
We have no
When
alliances.
something comes close, we go back in our shell.
We just want a large economy.
Yeah.
But we aren't greedy like those darn Tyrells. They expand
That's
too
right.
much.
That's what they say in House Tosis.
Yeah.
So the Adepts shade through. Oh, okay, so he's going to go with the Warp Prism here. Now, I don't know if this is for an Immortal Juggle. Seems like... Oh, no, I'm sorry. He's making a Nexus along with this, so I'm misreading this.
But with the Prism, I think, is just for some harassment, because I think he realizes that he's going to be a little bit behind. So you may... Oh, you know what? If he can, like, just kind of elevator everything and then force field the ramp, then that would be really strong. Oh my. I'm surprised that he didn't bring over more units here, but okay.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right.
There you go.
Going all the way back to 2011.
Well, that's a good build. Like, whether it's against Zerg or it's against Protoss.
So it seems like he doesn't want to do a mass warp in here.
Yeah. Kind of interested about that.
I thought
he has
for
a lot
sure.
of force fields.
Okay, maybe he wants to wait. All right, and then now the mass warp has happened. Look at this. He knows this exactly perfectly.
And he got another sentry too. So
oh my god, he did hallucinate Warp Prism to try to psych him out.
Yeah, he wants the Stalkers to go chase that instead of anything else.
Look at how good he is. He's like just getting the force fields further and further back because he wants to kill more workers.
What a funny little micro battle we see here. Okay, that's hilarious. Okay, I guess those other Stalkers actually kind of just drew units back. He's run out of force fields maybe at this point. No, he still has one.
He's just not going to overdo
force field it. Yeah, there you go. Kill your own pylon and get through there. Well, then you just force field that too. Oh, look at that. He chased the hallucinated prism. Oh, I love this. This is great. SOS has lost so many probes at this point.
He may have lost his game, actually. Oh, yeah. Guess what? No more weapons for you.
Okay,
so
finally
he
has
to
his own
elevator
prism.
this. Now, does he keep trying to warp in? I think he just packs up and leaves.
Yeah, with the Immortal there, I don't think you can do very much. Oh, and he recalls those other ones.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You can do that here. Because the strategy's so old, I keep forgetting that like it's actually in a modern game right now.
Well, that was really, really cool. And now we have to take stock of where they're at. Look at that. After killing 14 workers, Classic is 3 workers ahead. There is an Immortal out here for SOS, so that's definitely important.
Generally speaking, watching the Immortal is the most important thing to look for.
Yeah.
Where it's positioned, how many of them are there on each side, and whether or not it's actually firing or crab walking in the back trying to get a location where it can actually do damage. Look at this. He's not even done, Artosis.
No. He's coming right back in for it. Oh, my gosh.
Perfect.
Look at that. He traps 3 probes and the Adept there. What a force field.
So I guess SOS is going to try to just go for it, right?
Yeah, he's going to do his own little... Oh, it's too much, Aceless. It's too much. I love it. These two are just so perfectly matched for each other. Look at this Zealot.
Where's that Warp Prism
chasing?
Oh, where's SOS's Warp Prism? I don't see it yet.
I don't know where. Oh, there it is. It's coming
it's coming into the main now. Yeah, it seemed like it was a little bit late. 2 can play at this.
This is so funny.
Uh-oh. But having one Immortal here helps out a lot.
Yeah. Good micro on both sides. Ooh. Yeah, I think Classic's basically got this now. He didn't finish off that Immortal when he had a small chance.
He's going to drop over here. Wow, this was such a crazy game. Classic's really impressing me. GG. We're moving on to, what game is this? We've been going to game 4, right?
Game 4 is coming up next.
This series is going so much faster than our first one.
This is fantastic. I'm loving this series.
Yeah.
It's just...
That's so funny. The SOS comes in with his own drop play. Classic, next level PvP. This guy is so good.
So, I mean, I have no idea what's going to happen as it's going so far. I assume SOS will win this game, and then we'll just toss a coin for game 5 and be done with it.
That's right.
Backwater.
So, there we go. 2-1 Classic. I was looking at that, getting a little bit confused.
It's like, no, it's 2-1.
I was shaking my head at the screen 1-1, and I'm thinking, am I confused? So, Classic versus SOS. Classic just needs one more win. SOS in a bit of hot water. We're not getting to the late game, at least so far, with these two players. It is nothing but mind games.
Yeah. Well,
right now, this is 2 warlocks battling each other, okay? Changing reality and then giving each other fear spells cast everywhere.
Oh my gosh. 2 Dini against David Blaine right here.
SOS's fingers are turning into spaghetti. But Classic, meanwhile, is, well, he's got a countdown timer on his opponent's soul, and if he doesn't break that spell, it's over. So, our map is now loaded up. Let's do this. Game 4, Classic versus SOS.
GSL SuperTournament, Season 1, Round of 16, Match 2. Classic.
So now we have the, we roll the 20-sided Dungeons & Dragons die of potential proxy builds in PvP.
Yeah.
And see where it lands.
Jin Air Green Wings, SOS.
Yeah, I'm not going to see a long game between these two, I guess. Definitely could be a map where you see that with an easy third base here. We shall see where these guys want to go with their builds.
Looks like we're getting a shot of the map here. The fact there is a location, you could hide a base. You can take a third base fairly easily here.
Yeah.
I
Even the
think
fourth isn't too bad. It's like a pretty easy map to play a macro game on.
Yeah. That doesn't mean it's an easy map overall, but it means it can definitely go in a certain direction. Whereas other maps, it could be much harder to play a macro game on.
There's like an entrance to your 3 bases, and then everything else is just drop harassment. So prism harassment, I guess it gets its own designation. Much scarier.
So both probes pass each other, and Classic's up to it again. Is it the same build as game 1?
Do not know.
I feel like this is risky behavior. If it is.
Certainly risky behavior.
I like how I called it risky behavior. It's like not wearing a seatbelt. Risky behavior.
Exactly.
Wear a bicycle helmet if you're on a bike.
Classic had the same probe scheme when he got in there, where it was 3 on each gas and stuff like that. So maybe that's something that SOS can pick up on. It doesn't necessarily mean anything every time, though.
Not the easiest read, though.
A sentry coming out of SOS very quickly. That's the first time we've seen that today out of him, I believe. And that's going to allow him for a much quicker scout. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Rubba.
Yeah. This is the one thing that might not really help as much against. You know, having that quick scout, a lot of times you can figure out, like, oh, okay, this is
instantly 2 more gates go down. So SOS is going for a 4-gate. Now, some of this will come down to position because the Robo's out on the map.
Yeah. Wow. Like, totally not what I was expecting, but I think that's why he's doing it. You know, he's shown a sentry, so that really points you towards a more conservative play, like an expansion. But the fact that he's going 4-gate, like you know, most people would cut corners once they see that sentry. Why would you make a sentry when you're going to attack with Mass Stalker? You know?
So what's odd about this is they're both trying to do a rush to each other.
Yeah.
So I don't know where these armies engage or how it's going to look. Most important thing to watch here for Classic is how much damage do the Immortals do and how long can they last.
Now, if he were to catch that, he has 5 Stalkers right now, he would just wreck everything, but that's not going to happen. He actually sends his hallucination. Oh my god, does it get caught? Straight up catches the hallucination. Oh my god, SOS in so much trouble. Look at this.
Head-to-head, what actually wins if they have to fight?
Well, he got the first volley off there, so this is looking very good for SOS. Of course, if that Immortal could get into the fight, it would do really well, but losing that many Stalkers right off the bat, and you have 3 gates, so you're not going to die right now.
So it's a Warp Prism coming up next. After that, it should be more Immortals. Okay, very odd game we have here before us. Keep in mind that Classic cannot afford to lose the Warp Prism. The Warp Prism is what can allow him to theoretically win the fight against Stalkers. Now, the pylons could get unpowered here back in Classic's base, which means the oomph to the rush is gone.
Oh my
maybe I spoke to something. Maybe it's going to be this pylon first.
Yeah, you really needed something there to help out.
I want to get a shot at the other base.
Oh boy, that Immortal's soaking up so much damage right now.
He's so good.
Yeah, great micro here.
But what's happening to the base? Can we please get a shot at the other base?
We're just never going to see it.
We're just never going to know. We're just watching this one.
18 probes have died, but we haven't seen it even once. Oh my gosh.
This pylon's still alive.
I mean, this is some crazy.
Okay, I really need to see what's in the other base. This Classic's down 20 probes.
Yeah, this must be one worker left. And he actually recalls the rest of his units. Hey, that's enough to hold that.
So we're not getting a shot of it, but I believe there's no more probes back in.
Yeah, he literally has one worker. Classic does. I don't.
Warp Prism down. Warp Prism down. I don't believe he can shimmy this Immortal back and make this work. So SOS is actually going to win this.
Yeah.
So yeah, he just pushes out. GG.
Okay.
The games are getting shorter and shorter.
Literally never saw the top left base there.
Yeah, I'm a little bit miffed by that, but whatever. So, in case you're confused by what you saw, while that whole attack was happening, in the upper left, there were Stalkers that breached the main base of Classic. He killed off all of the probes except for one. One is certainly not enough to recover. And then recalled everything back.
Yeah, that recall was really clutch and was able to hold. I mean, good micro on both sides for sure.
A lot of times just having an army, having something to fight is buying you time from having your own workers killed. That's what we had back there. And recall pretty good.
Yeah. Good ability to have. Eastwatch, our 5th map. Who takes it now, Tasteless?
I don't know, man. I'm not even going to try to guess.
No,
It's way too hard. These games have been super interesting.
Proxy Void Ray gets found. Defender wins. Bam.
Again, though, with the proxies, every game.
Of course!
Every game we've got something hidden somewhere.
Yeah.
You have to wonder if one of them is just going to try to stay back and defend. Nah. Screw that.
It's a long map and you have a ramp up to your natural. Defense makes sense. Oh, that's a good rhyme. Defense makes sense.
Put that in your presidential campaign slogan.
Yeah.
All right, our game's up. Let's do this. The last game here between Classic and SOS in this fight to go on to the round of 8.
GSL SuperTournament, Season 1, Round of 16, Match 2. Classic.
Killer Jacket.
Jin Air Green Wings, SOS.
Yeah, man, this jet lag is hitting me.
Yeah?
It's brutal. Slow. We're having an IV of caffeine going into my body. It's gonna be all right.
How about an IV of proxy buildings?
Well, I can expect that this game. Doctor says I might overdose on proxies this time around.
You've had too many SOS. You can't proxy another
the body
building.
Can't handle that.
It's like, I have to do it. Any proxy might be your last. Imagine that anime.
Any proxy might be your last. They don't know what I do for the game.
All right, the probes cross each other right there. No other probes on the map as of yet. Maybe this is the expansion game.
We're going to go to this thing. You guys might have heard about it before. It's called mid-game.
No. The only expansion between these two is Legacy of the Void, okay?
That's my evil bad guy pirate laugh.
Yeah.
I laugh like that so you know I'm evil. Two Adepts coming out now, whereas Classic is going for Sentry Stalker.
Yeah, and he has a pylon on the low ground, so he's really, especially when he shows the Sentry, broadcasting that he wants to expand.
Right.
Of course, this probably means that he'll just go for...
He'll just not do that.
Something completely unrelated.
So he wanted to be up on the ramp to see if it was going to be two Adepts coming out. He spots it and confirms it.
Yeah.
SOS has been doing more of the double Adept plays, right? Or no, I guess in the...
they both have mixed
Classic did it in Game 1, trying to keep SOS on the defense.
I mean, one of the nicer things about it is you can immediately check if they have an expand. You know, as long as you're a little bit careful about the way that you use your Adepts, you're not going to lose them. All right, he sees the expansion, so that's definitely something. Both of them actually taking an Nexus.
So it looks like we're going into the realm of Ordinary in this Protoss versus Protoss.
Which is actually the most unordinary thing in here, yeah.
This might be the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, this is the weirdest game from these two.
With these two, only in this situation.
Huh.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's
spoke
more
too
like
soon.
It. There, that's what I'm talking about. Is he going to try to block this off? Thinks otherwise when he sees more Stalkers coming out of that gate.
Poor Stalkers.
His warp gate is not far away, so especially in that specific moment, you would lose pretty handedly. Takes out one Adept. Actually, this is quite impactful here, especially if you consider the fact that SOS is proxying a pylon, excuse me.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of pressure, though. I don't think he can really do much of anything. Robo on the way for Classic, so he's actually playing like he's stats right now. He's trying to defend against absolutely everything. SOS, he's got his Nexus, but continues to sit here and make Stalkers. Hey, he has a unit advantage because two Stalkers are in the main base of his opponent.
The Adept continues to shade in.
The 2 sentries, I don't think it's... What is he doing? Chasing everything up there.
He's just going up. He did it.
What?
He's coming here. He's actually taking out these workers. I thought he would do this if he had a sentry available. Now, is he going to be able to get out, though? Keep in mind, there are force fields available.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
You're right. Those force fields, super important.
Whoa!
You know what? 4 probes for a stalker and a half?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Sign me up for that. All right. I think that was good. Now he's just at home, safe as can be, making his own sentries.
Does he want to attack in again, I wonder? I mean, Blink is coming.
Whoa.
Oh, what?
What? He's like, this is...
He's like, I'll make units that are fast that I don't have.
He has, like, no gateways.
Yeah.
How many gateways does he have? He has 2 gates?
He has no zealots.
He's like, do you know what I need? I need to have 2 zealots that charge into his probe line. And that's why I'm making a prism and charge with 2 gates.
Ooh, Artosis.
Yeah. That's a sick call.
You just got bonus caster points for that. Yeah. If that's what he's going to do.
Well,
this is advanced stuff. Either that he's going to run up there with nothing but stalkers and be like, I swear to God I upgraded Blink.
That would be funny.
So don't worry, we got you covered. We're making you look way better than you are.
He's playing against Blink, so going straight into Charge Immortal can be pretty decent against that. Like, you can kind of have a little timing where you can move in. But this is so funny. He's like warping to Adepts. The thing is, I guess he's not chronoing Charge, so it's okay, but he's going to have to add gates. And he got 2 more gases, so we need a Templar Archives out of him very soon as well.
SOS always ready. Completely scares off that Warp Prism. Immortals being incremented out now, and Classic, it's a Dark Shrine. Interesting.
Oh, okay. Well, he's actually getting a very solid scout off with these multiple hallucinations. Oh, and that's where his Dark Shrine is. That's such a funny location. He's like, I need the Dark Shrine at the front of my natural. Just
I want
in
it
case
to help
he ever
with my
pushes
wall
me.
in.
Yeah. Well, that's
okay if he unpowers this. This doesn't require
that's where you're not
electricity.
Oh, did he cancel it?
Oh, he must have.
I guess he
considering how long it takes to make a Dark Shrine.
Yeah.
Now, was that scouted or something by SOS? Or was that him trying to
I didn't see
throw out a red
scouted. Oh, he did scout
it,
yes.
Wow,
so
the mind games
scout it,
sick.
and cancel it. So that's going to force some detection. And he just goes into regular Zealot Archon from here with some Immortals.
These guys do not want to play a standard game. They're constantly trying to outmaneuver each other.
It's back and forth. Oh, boy. Ooh!
You know what's smart about him putting the Dark Shrine there is the odds of that being scouted again when the whole army's there is quite low.
Yeah, it's very true with the Stalker standing there. Okay, so third base is coming up. SOS got his up quite a bit faster. So his probe count up by 8 right now. That's pretty significant. He's also getting charge. His +2 is just slightly ahead. Not a big deal, but just the fact that he's staying equivalent on upgrades, and he'll have charge before any actual attacks occur. Plus, he has Blink, which isn't something Classic has. SOS is leading in most ways right now. So I guess just not Immortals.
When you dupe them with the Dark Shrine like that, you might force him to make, for instance, more observers, or in this case, cannons. But if you force him into making more observers, then you'll win the Immortal fight. Mm-hmm. So it's very important to note that kind of stuff. Charge just now finishing up here for SOS.
Did SOS just get a cannon in each location? Because I think this is his first Robo. Yeah. So when he saw that, I guess what it cost him was probably right around
price of 3 gateways.
Yeah, price of 3 gates.
$450.
Look at you, math.
I'm a brave guy.
First, you added up his expansions. You're like, if he has his third base up, how many bases is that? And you're like, 1, 2, 2 plus 1.
Counting,
3.
starting with the pinky, then the thumb.
Yeah.
So, the Stalker harass seems like it can keep Classic kind of pinned down. Even though Classic's army is actually pretty scary, he can blink in and out of here for days.
Oh! Classic just canceled both the gases at his third base.
Oh, okay, so he's probably going to do a timing all in.
Absolutely. He's going for it right now. He's going to have his +2 finishing. +3 is on the way, and we saw SOS add his gases. So SOS probably thinks this is going to get a little bit bigger, but Classic is going to bring this to a head right now.
The Immortals completely zone out that army. And Classic is coming in here with an attempted killing blow. Let's see how this actually turns out. A lot of Zealots here.
Yeah, he has 2 more Archons and 3 more Immortals. This is definitely Classic favored.
All right, Coming in here now. Now, these Archons bunched together like this are going to be great against these Zealots, especially if the Warpers of Control here from Classic is good enough that he can keep juggling.
The Immortals not really getting the hits that they need, though.
They're crab walking in the back again.
They've mostly been hitting on Zealots, but as he pushes forward, like, just a better composition overall.
I think he's just won the game. I honestly think Classic may just have better PvP than SOS by like 5%, just enough to win a best of 5 like this.
I think that these two, I mean, you match them up in this 100 times. I don't know, maybe 50-50.
It goes 49-51.
Could be.
That's it, GG.
Wow.
SOS eliminated in the round of 16.
Cool.
Nicely done.
Yeah, this was a really cool PvP series. I have no complaints. So yeah, what else is there to say? SOS unfortunately not going to win this tournament, but we'll see.
You know, I got to say, Legacy of the Void has made for some very cool PvPs.
Yeah.
Craziest we've ever seen in any mirror matchup.
It's changed a lot,
Is this.
especially since the Mothership Core went away. Definitely there's like, it's a little bit more on the edge than it used to be, but a lot of mind games and stuff going on.
So many different tricks and techniques you can pull off. If this was a best of 7, I still don't know who would have won.
Yeah. Definitely could have gone back and forth to Game 7.
I do wonder, too, that timing attack where he canceled the gas, was that simply a response to the Stalker harass? They blinked in and blinked back out?
I think that he looked at it and said, okay, you spent a lot of money on Stalkers, you have Blink, and he sent him some different vibes that weren't quite there, right? He forced the 3 cannons with the fake Dark Shrine, and with the fact that he was getting out his Archons a bit quicker and he didn't make Stalkers, gave him a good comp.
We're going to go to a break. We come back, our third best of 5.